This is, oh shoot, like, can you see me? Okay. So, we're gonna watch a reaction, so let's do it. Actually, we're on Doctor Top 10 Mysteries. So, actually, my most favorite game you didn't notice is Block Story. I've been hiding it for a while. So, let's go. Yeah, suppose his channel is
Hello guys, it's Excel, and welcome to another Block Story Top 10 list. After uploading my first one, it was clear that you guys wanted some more. So without further ado, here's another one. This time it's going to be on the mysteries of Block Story. Earthquakes. Yes, we have all encountered these. You may say that earthquakes were added to make the game more realistic. However, there are no other disasters in the game. Developers may have added it for details, but we don't have any confirmation. But the question rises, how can there be earthquakes if there are no tectonic plates? Some articles state that this might be an event caused by Maddie. Some say that the earthquakes are nothing but a small detail. But actually, earthquakes damage you even if you stand on a flat surface. As far as I know, you shouldn't be able to take damage from an earthquake if you're standing on a flat surface, unless you fall down, of course. But obviously, your character can't fall. Another suspicious thing is the Skyland. As far as we know, Skyland are afloat, and they can't touch the earth, but during earthquakes, they still shake. Why? If you dig through the floating island, you will discover that there are no tectonic plates either. So is this just a simple mistake? Is this little detail? Or maybe the developers have some plans for it? Nobody really knows. When you explore the world, you may run into some abandoned structures. I mean, obviously you will. How could you miss them? There are tons of abandoned structures that are accessible for the player, like an abandoned tower on the desert, an abandoned beach house, abandoned ships and igloos, abandoned skylines and buildings. But why are they abandoned? I mean, they could make NPCs spawn in there, but they didn't. Instead, they are abandoned. Like if somebody built it and then left it there for some reason. But what's the reason? The Dragon Lord could have killed the people that lived inside of those houses and buildings. Or are they for new players in order to make their gameplay easier? Are their structures just a little bit of detail? Muscle either. It seems like when they lost all of their flesh, their bones got under serious danger and they could just dry out from the heat in the underworld. So do they just keep their bones in shape to move? Or is it anything else? There isn't much information I can provide about this mystery because of the lack of info, obviously. If a developer is watching this, please tell us why skeletons love to dance so much. Now you may say blocks are normal in this game, but are they? Blocks defy every single physics rule which prove that they aren't normal in this game. We have Ted who complains about it, proving that NPCs are fully aware that blocks are surrounded by them. And even in the old versions of the game, when you first started off on your adventure with a brand new character in a brand new world, the very first thing that appears in the game is "Welcome to Block Story. You are in an infinite world made out of blocks." So there may be a world or planet which is not made out of blocks. I mean, if every
Can you hear it? You can? Oh, I think you can hear it because it's just too loud for me. Okay.
time you start a new character and world, why would it say in a world made out of blocks? Am I not making any sense? What is Moria? Who built it? Did goblins build it? But
wait a second, guys. I have to wait to get guys. Let's check the wait. I think I have something wrong with the Wi-Fi. What the fuck happened? Oh my god, that scared me. Oh, you guys get scared like that? Getting out of no Wi-Fi. Oh my god, that scared me shit out of me.
But how? Did they really dig in that deep and then suddenly stop and start to make the whole world underground, knowing that the roof may break down and crush them at any time? I mean, really, why were there skulls in there? Human skulls? You may say that these were skulls of dead goblin warriors somehow. That leads to a theory that he has killed in mind a lot, so most likely he is very smart. Another theory is that as a merchant, he has to travel around in different places to sell his stuff. However, if he travels around, then it means that he has seen a lot, and that leads...
What the? This is it. Guys, I think our Wi-Fi is broken. Oh my god, that scared my shit out. So let's continue watching. So you have to skip it. So back online, I know, baby.
To the fact that, yes, you guessed it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go here. So I can be fast.
Boats with dragon heads on it, so that does mean that Ted is a dragon rider, or at least he was. And after all, well, that leads to only one and final theory. Ted was a dragon rider. In the Viking culture, Vikings respected dragons. They had boats with dragon heads on it, so that does mean that Ted is a dragon rider, or at least he was a dragon rider. Who knows? Also, another interesting fact, it could be a purpose, right? Ted is not an idiot, and was mentioned in the storyline, but has never actually been seen in the game. Specifically, Zoroaxis is Paula's former dragon, which was killed by...
That's a waste of Wi-Fi. Okay. You motherfucker, keeps coming back, so I have to be faster.
by the Dragon Lord. Now, the reason why I picked Zoroaxis as a mystery is that nobody really knows if he's dead or not. As far as we see, dragons can come back from the dead if their rider is still alive. When the dragon of a player dies, it comes back after a few in-game days. Dragon Lord's dragon also seems to come back after death too. We see that not only from the visual game, but also in storyline where Aaron asks you to kill
Guys, I'm gonna I have to fast forward it, guys, so it's gonna be fast. I think it's Matty here. Oh my god, it's gonna shoot at me. Oh, you Please don't say it to me. I see it. If you guys see it, you have a good eye. See it? It's the circle. That's the purple things. It's not because it's glitched at all.
Turn around and to take this photo. I started looking online for ants. Dog scarred me for life. I really need to be more careful though. Oh god! Oh my god! Jeez. Do you agree with this list? Do you have any other ideas for mysteries that were not listed?